up, gang?
Kayla, what's the significance to your here? What would it mean to you to be an Olympic gold medal? I mean, obviously you've won other UFC titles. Other MMA titles before. But what would it mean to be the gold medalist and a UFC?
You mean be an Olympic gold medalist, a MMA two-time MMA champ, and a UFC champ? What would it mean? Woo. I mean, it's a testament, I think, to my character, my grit, my determination. I'm very happy with my career. I have climbed a lot of mountains. I have done more than most will ever do, and I'm very satisfied with it. But this belt is for me.
Can winning a belt compare to an Olympic gold, no matter what?
We're gonna find out on Saturday night. We'll see. We'll see. I'm sure it's gonna feel very similar.
Kayla, over here, outside. Obviously, you're used to people talking before, but I feel like every interview I've seen you do, it's always, let me read some quotes that Juliana said about you. So has this been more of an annoying build-up? Because it's never about the fight. It's always about what Juliana's been saying.
No, I mean, I think that's part of the business, and Juliana doesn't excel at fighting, so she has to excel at the other piece of it. And it's not personal to me, she's just doing her job.
Was that a hard part to, like, when you first got into MMA? Because, like, in the Olympics, it's a tournament. Like, no matter how much you talk.
Yeah, and not only that, it's like a Japanese sport, so it's like the most respectful sport in the Olympics.
So you say it's not personal, but it seems like the fans are very much behind you. Have you kind of felt that?
I have, and I'm so grateful for it. I feel like Juliana is the perfect villain to, I guess, make me a hero in people's eyes. I think before everyone's like, oh, I don't know if it's my dominance. I don't know if it's because I am so, like, physically strong looking, but I feel like or maybe because I haven't been in the UFC for very long, but I feel like a lot of people weren't too keen on me, and now all of a sudden it's like I'm America's sweetheart, and I'm just gonna take it and run with it.
And, you kind of said it, like, Julia's not good at fighting, so she has to sell a fight. And we've heard that before, but yet she keeps winning. So I guess, what is it about Juliana's style that gives people problems?
I mean, I think she's got heart, She's a fighter. And at the end of the day, that's probably one of the most important qualities you can have is that heart and that grit. She's unorthodox. You don't really know what is coming. I think it's probably a tough style to emulate in training. She's unorthodox, and I think that she has this, like, I just believe I'm better everywhere. I think that I'm bigger, faster, stronger. I think that I've got more positive experience. I think that my grappling's better, my striking's better. I think that my fight IQ is higher. And, like, never mind being inside of a cage. Like, I'm a fighter in life. And so if she thinks that she's going to, like, outfight me, she's got another thing coming.
Well, the countdown, they did this, the part where she brought in Max Snyder to train with her. Is that just the countdown kind of, like, latching on to something, or is that something that, like, smart thing she's training with him?
I mean, do you think that you could learn to paint like Picasso in 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 weeks?
No.
Do you think that you could be Scorsese in 12? Like, good luck. I applaud her for leaving no stone unturned, but I've been doing judo since I was 6 years old. Like, that's not something you can pick up overnight.
The countdown also, I think, like, we've been covering you for a long time. We knew your story with your kids and your sister and your mom.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe there's, like, we talked, some people only watch the UFC. They didn't know your story. So when that came out, have you seen, how's the reception been to that for people that didn't know what you actually went through?
It's been super positive. It's been, like, overwhelmingly positive and heartfelt, and I think that a lot of people didn't know that I adopted my niece and nephew and the reasoning behind it. And so I just want to make sure that, like, everyone knows, like, I adopted them. Like, they're my children. I'm not a guardian. I'm not like a part-time parent. I'm not I'm not going to give them, like, I'm on the birth certificate now. Like, these are my kids. We're the wolf pack, and they ain't ever getting rid of me.
And just last one for me, unrelated to your fight, because I think you're one of the few that could probably answer this, but LeBron James just did a podcast, and he was talking about starting kids in a sport, and that's all they do from, like, 5 on, will lead to burnout real quick.
Yeah. I mean, you can't, like, their brain is literally still developing. Are we going to put this kind of pressure on a child to be? And yeah, don't get me started. My daughter played softball this year, and like, this is her first time playing. So obviously she's not great. Like, and the parents, I was like, I'm gonna end up getting in a fist fight at a softball game. Like, I gotta take a lap and cool off.
Over here. Kayla, if you win this fight, there's talk you could face. When you win this fight, there's talk you could face Amanda Nunes. How do you feel about potentially fighting someone you used to train with?
Yeah, my focus is on Saturday night, one step at a time. Everybody's tough until you beat them, so I'm focused on Juliana. But in judo, it's very different culture and mentality. Like, you end up competing against the same girls over and over and over and over again, and you go to a tournament, and then you have a 3-day training camp with all of the girls you just competed with, and then you go to another tournament and you have a training camp. Like, so I used to fight my friends or compete against my friends all the time, and it's not personal, it's just business.
Yeah. Juliana's actually been very confident in her pre-fight talk. Do you think that's genuine self-belief, or is she just trying to get in your head?
I mean, I think she's got to do what she's got to do to pump herself up for this fight, Like, she's throwing a lot of spaghetti at the wall. She's all over the place, so God bless her.
Thank you.
Kayla right here. You were a finalist for the Team USA 2025 Hall of Fame class. Despite not getting in, how much of an honor is it to just be up there with some of the greatest athletes in the world?
Yeah, I mean, that's, I feel like I am God gave me these talents, right, and these gifts, and to give anything less than my best is to sacrifice the gift. So for me, it's an honor and it's a privilege, and to see the fruits of my labor being showcased is great, but it all comes from God, so.
You said that growing up, you were always craving recognition and approval from other people. What finally changed in your life that really led you down the path you're on now? Is it finding God?
I mean, definitely my faith. I'm sure that most of you know I had a very troubled childhood. I was sexually abused by my first coach, and so I spent a lot of time feeling unworthy, and my biological father was also not present in my life. And so, I didn't have this belief that I was loved unconditionally, and my faith absolutely in God, and that there is, someone who's for me, not against me, has been huge. And also God sending me my kids, like they have taught me that there's so much more to life than gold medals and trophies, and like all of that stuff sits in my, everyone always like, oh, where's your Olympic gold medals? I'm like, they're in my sock drawer collecting dust. Like, nobody cares. My kids sure as shit don't care. Like, they care that I come home. They care that I'm mom. They care that I play, Nerf gun wars with them, or that I've let them have ice cream. Like, that's what it's all about. And so that has given me a new peace and a new understanding and a new freedom, which makes me honestly a better fighter.
Yeah, shout out to all the single moms out there.
That's right. Shout out to the single moms. Let's go.
Kayla, right over here. I remember last fight week in Salt Lake City, Juliana was speaking about the way that Raquel would have actually represented this division, and being the fact that you're the challenger this week, what do you feel, or how do you feel about the way that Juliana represents this division?
I feel nothing. I I focus on myself. I focus on how I carry myself, what I can do. I try not to throw stones from a glass house. Nobody's perfect. We're all doing the best we can, but there's going to be a new face of women's MMA very soon.
And speaking about the trash talk, I know we've been talking about that kind of all day now, but for you, there was a lot of trash talk that you had to get through to get to the actual fight. Do you think this may have been the most trash talk you ever had to deal with, and how did it kind of affect you throughout the past couple weeks or months?
I mean, I think hands down, this is the most trash talk. I don't need, like, the talk itself is trashy. I don't know if it's good trash talk, but it's trashy. This is the most I've ever had to endure. Yeah. It's the worst trash talk I've ever had to endure, too, I'll tell you what. Like, if you, being a female, being in a male-dominant sport, like going to American Top Team, you think I don't hear shit all day, every day? I walk into the gym and they're starting to, so, like, but this is just poorly done, and I'm ready to fight. I'm done talking about it. I'm ready to fight.
And last for me, I'm not sure how much this really matters to you, but when you get the job done on Saturday night, that would be 3 fights into your UFC career before you become, or when you become UFC champion. How does that sit with you? Because that's pretty remarkable itself.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good, you know? I think it's 3 fights in the UFC, but this is a lifetime in the making. You know, I've been on the mat since I was 6 years old. I have been doing 2-a-days since I was 12 years old. Like, that's 20-some years of training twice a day, every day, with the pursuit and the goal of being the best possible version of myself in mind. So it might only be 3 fights in the UFC, but this has been a lifelong journey, and I'm really excited.
Thank you.
Awesome, thanks.
Kayla over here.
Yep.
2 years ago at the PFL World Championship, you told me discipline is the best form of self-love. Can you explain that to me and what that means to you and how that quote helps you live your life?
Yes. Wow, I was wise 2 years ago. Listen to that. Damn. Just gym. Yeah, you know, I think that in our world, especially in our society where we have everything at the click of a button on a phone, like we're dialed into everything. We have a lot of instant gratification. It's very easy to take the easy route. Like, I want it now. I want instant. But being disciplined, you're not always going to be motivated. Do you think that I wake up every day and I'm like, I can't wait to go train and then run 6 miles and then teach my kids and then eat like 2 calories and then go train again? Like, of course not. I'm a human being. But I won't always be motivated. I can always be disciplined. And I know from the proof of my life that when I'm disciplined, I become better. Not just towards my goals, but as a human. I am forged in the fire. When I'm sitting in that sauna at 9 o'clock at night for an hour by myself, I am forged in that fire. And who I become is the best version that I've ever been of me. And that, again, that is my gift to God, that I squeeze the ever-living shit out of this life. I take all of my talents, I take all of it, and I make the absolute most of it. That's love.
And another person that's been forged in the fire is your teammate, Dustin Poirier. He's retiring next month.
He might actually be the fire.
Could you share your favorite memory with the Diamond?
There's so many. I mean, it's just like, it's who he is. It's who he is as a person. You know, I'll walk in. Again, those days when I'm unmotivated, I walk into the gym and Dustin Poirier says, "Get up, Kayla Harrison. You're right where you're supposed to be. You're exactly where you were meant to be. Like, you're doing what you're supposed, like, just like the positivity, the role model that he is, the philanthropist that he is, the father that he is, the teammate that he is. I was very fortunate and blessed to be at his fight against Max Holloway when he won the belt. And I was young in my MMA career, and I remember sitting there and watching him and being like, oh, I train with him. Like, he can do this, I can do this. And yeah, he's just an inspiring human being and someone I really look up to.
Kayla, just back here, we obviously, you know, you've done it all. You've been multiple-time Olympic champion, made obviously massive money in the PFL before you were ever here, multiple-time world champion. What is it that keeps you going after Saturday night when you're the UFC champion?
Well, I haven't found a husband yet, so no. Yeah, I mean, I have a dream inside of my heart. I wanna see how high I can climb. I wanna see how far I can push myself, and I don't feel like I'm done yet. I'll know. It's personal and it's a difficult decision, but I'll know, and I'm not there yet. I still have a lot of fire inside. I love this, like this is. I have spent a lifetime getting to do what I love. Like, I have traveled the world. I've been to the top of Mount Fuji, and I've seen the Mona Lisa, and I've watched the sunrise in Abu Dhabi, and I did it all with my best friends while, like, chasing a dream that no one had ever chased. And now I have 2 healthy, beautiful children, and I have money in the bank, and we need nothing. We want for nothing. And like, I get to wake up every day and go to a gym and be around people that I admire and respect and love. And I get to try and be better today than I was yesterday. How many people can say that on this planet right now? How many people can say that they get to chase their dream every day and live out loud and live boldly? And I mean, I'm blessed. I'm so blessed.
And Juliana brought up in that little face-off thing you guys did, that like she seemed to bring up the Ronda thing kind of like apropos of nothing. Like,
Yeah.
Do you think she was trying to get in your head a little bit with that whole?
I mean, I don't know. I would not want to spend a second in that brain. So, spaghetti at the wall.
What are your memories of that match? I mean, it's obviously one of the very rare times we've ever seen you.
Oh,
take
with
the W.
Rhonda?
Yeah.
The judo match?
Yeah.
I mean,
It was just so rare that you would ever not take the W.
yeah, I mean, I was 15. I was being sexually abused by my judo coach. Like, it was not the best time in my life. She beat me, but and I'm not taking anything away from Rhonda. Like, Rhonda had an amazing career, and I would not be here if it weren't for Ronda Rousey. So, like, I have nothing but gratitude for her and the glass ceilings that she shattered for women in this sport. All I meant from that was in our judo careers, like, I didn't tell any lies. Like, my career in judo is going to be very hard to touch.
And in MMA as well, I'm sure.
And then that's the goal. That's the goal.
Kayla right here. I know when we were down in Florida with you, you said the weight cut.
When you met my emu?
Yes, when we met the emu, Marshall Mathers. And you said you were ahead of schedule in terms of like the weight cut and everything. How do you feel sitting here right now, like 40 hours from being on the scale compared to the last 2 times?
I feel great. I think that I don't know if it's going to get easier as time goes on, but most importantly, my attitude is in the right place. My vibes are immaculate, as the kids say. Like, everyone around me is, bringing me up, and I have done hard things. I can do hard things, and I trust the process, and I trust my team, and I trust God, and everything I want is on the other side of that scale.
And I think a lot of like the analysis, I guess, of this fight is like, will the recovery for you be going into fight night, and you'll be a force early in that fight. Juliana's tough. How does it go if it goes into the 4th or 5th rounds of a hard fight? What's your thoughts on, I guess, that analysis?
I mean, I would say that they obviously haven't been training with me at American Top Team. I am prepared for 25 hard minutes. We've been training, and I haven't been training with any slouches. I've been being shark baited like a fresh partner every round for 5 rounds when I'm sparring. So I'm ready. I'm ready to show the world that.
So many, most survivors of crimes committed against them aren't in the public eye, and after a while can maybe put things behind them, or at least don't have to face it every single day. And yet you do almost every press conference, almost every interview. How do you deal with that? How do you have you had to come to peace with the fact that's always going to be part of your story? You seem to talk openly about it.
Absolutely.
How have you navigated those waters through the years?
I mean, well, first of all, I'm well removed from it. You know, I'm no longer that 10-year-old little girl, that 16-year-old little, like I'm an adult now, and I feel like God gave me this story for a reason, and it's my job to use it to try and make the world a better place. So I want to talk about it because we all think that like, you know, sexual abuse happens in like the Boy Scouts, but my son's not a Boy Scout, or it happens in the Catholic Church, but we're not Catholic, or yeah, gymnastics, but no, none of my kids do gymnastics. But 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will be sexually assaulted by the time they're 18. And those are just the kids that say something, which means that really the statistics are probably much higher. And how do we stop that? We stop it by having a conversation. We stop it by looking it in the eye and putting a face to it and saying, okay, children are our most precious things. I want to help stop this. I want to help end this. And I encourage everyone to go to fearlessfoundation.org, learn more about it. I also wrote a book. It's not a memoir. It's not an educational, it's not a textbook. It's kind of a combination of both, where it uses my story, my journal entries, and it talks to you about what is grooming, why kids don't say something, what questions can I ask my kids if I think something like this is going on. And, you know, that is important to me. I don't ever want another little girl or little boy to feel alone, to feel dirty, to feel ashamed. There is hope. There is a shiny gold medal at the end of the tunnel. There is a UFC belt at the end of the tunnel, but you have to say something, and we have to keep talking about it. Thanks, guys.